and Sports Network.
Well, there's a reason why they call it the Sunshine State. The Yankees are getting ready on another beautiful day here in Florida for baseball. Nick Swisher, Andrew Jones are going to be in the lineup this afternoon as the Yankees will be taking on the Atlanta Braves. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's going to be the Yankees and the Atlanta Braves from George M. Steinbrenner Field here in Tampa, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with David Cohen once again this afternoon. And every team tries to get through spring training without any injuries. But the Yankees have had a major injury. David Robertson comes up with a sprained foot, kind of a freak injury. He hurt his foot taking out the recycling. Now, David, we look at what's happened in the past with David Robertson here.
Well, you see, Robertson's really come into his own. He's a power guy. You see on Wednesday, he sprained his foot. Thursday, the MRIs. He's in a walking boot. It's his push-off leg. Very important, Kenny. You got to have that drive, especially for a guy like Robertson that throws that hard-cutting fastball. It's a ticky-tacky injury you better be careful with before he starts to throw again.
Now, how long do you think he might be out? He has to have that foot right before he starts to throw, because one thing can lead to another for a pitcher.
Well, it really can. I mean, the history is long, going back to Dizzy Dean, who broke his toe and ended up hurting his arm, and that's the last thing you want. If you push it a little too quickly, especially that push-off leg, and the next thing you know, there's a little more pressure on your shoulder, it could lead to a bigger arm injury. That's the thing you'd need to avoid at this point.
Well, we do have two healthy pitchers on the mound this afternoon for the Atlanta Braves. It's going to be a rookie. Julio Teheran gets the start. He was 1-1 for the Braves last year, but 15-3 in the minor leagues. And the veteran, Freddie Garcia, gets the start for the Yankees. He won 12 games a year ago as the Yankees won the American League Eastern Division. Well, we've got lineups. We got baseball and first pitch coming up in just a moment from here in Florida. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Coming up next on Yes. This is brought to you in part by Wendy's. Try Wendy's premium fish fillet sandwich made with only 100% North Pacific cod. By Cadillac. Visit CadillacTristate.com to find a dealer near you. And by 5 Hour Energy. When you gotta get stuff done. Well, we're trying to get something done this afternoon. The Yankees and the Braves. Exhibition baseball from Steinbrenner Field. Should be a sellout crowd on hand here once again. A beautiful day for baseball. And we're going to check out the Braves, the starting lineup. You see Michael Bourne there. He's getting loose. He'll be leading it off, playing center field for the Braves. Tyler Pasternicki will be in center. Should be at shortstop, I should say. Matt Diaz will be in right. Freddie Freeman, he'll clean up. He'll be at first base. David Ross does the catching. Christian Bethencourt will be the designated hitter. Drew Sutton will be at second. Brandon Hicks around at third base. And Jose Constanza will be in left field.
No relation to George?
I think that's Costanza. This is Constanza. Here's Freddie Garcia. He's on the mound today for the Yankees.
Freddie Garcia had really an unheralded great career. He is the all-time winning leader from Venezuela. He's got 145 career wins. That's most for anybody from that country, along with innings pitched. Had a great year for the Yankees last year, but no respect. He's still fighting for a job here. And if he doesn't get one with the Yankees, he might end up in the bullpen, but there's some scouts in the stands as well.
You know, one thing he does have that he didn't have last year, he's got a guaranteed contract this year. Last year, he came to camp, invitee, made his way onto the ball club, and as you said, Coney won 12 games for the New York Yankees. Well, it's time for baseball here in Tampa. And the first pitch to Michael Bourne, maybe a little high, maybe a little outside, and it's ball one. Michael Bourne, one of the speediest players in baseball. He can really run. That pitch, like an off-speed pitch, swung on and missed, and it's a ball and a strike. Bourne led the major leagues in stolen bases last year with 61. Garcia, he's got a bag full of tricks on the mound, and there's a trick, a slow curveball in left field for Andruw Jones. Puts it away easily. The former Brave makes the catch, and there's one down. Let's check out the rest of the Yankees on defense, brought to you by The Home Depot. You saw Andruw Jones in left field. Curtis Granderson will be in center. Nick Swisher's in right field. Eric Chavez at third. Derek Jeter, the captain, at short. Robinson Cano at second. Jorge Vasquez gets to start at first base today. And Russell Martin doing the catching for Freddie Garcia. Here's Tyler Pasternicki, and the youngster played most of last year in the minor leagues. And the Braves think very highly of this young man. Hit .299 at AA, then moved up to AAA and hit .365. That pitch misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Kenny actually played with his father in the Royals organization. Cliff Pasternicki is Tyler's father, who had a cup of coffee for the Royals back in the 80s.
2-0 pitch, bounce towards short. Jeter's going to have to charge and throw on the run. He does, and that's out number 2. Nice play by the captain. 2 up and 2 down. Let's look at the game time weather conditions brought to you by Toyota. We mentioned how nice it is here in Florida. Wish you were here with us, but if not, you're in the second best place. Watch it at home. It's 82 degrees, mostly sunny here in Tampa. In the Bronx, 48 degrees and partly cloudy. I know a lot of people would make that trade. The weather has just been beautiful thus far in the spring training. Number 3 hitter is Matt Diaz. And he lines one to center field on the first pitch. Coming on as Granderson makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Freddie Garcia against the Braves. When we come back, the captain, Derek Jeter, will be leading it off. No score so far here in Tampa. Check out the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus, and as we mentioned at the very top, it's going to be the captain, Derek Jeter. He'll lead it off, followed by Curtis Granderson at center. Robinson Cano being batting third at second base. Nick Swisher being right. Eric Chavez is at third. Russell Martin doing the catching this afternoon. Andruw Jones in left. Chris Dickerson will be the designated hitter, and Jorge Vasquez will be playing at first base.
if you know anything about the Atlanta Braves organization and their history, they come up with young, great, talented starting pitching. Here's another one, probably the best prospect in their organization. You see in the 2011 regular season, he didn't get a lot of time up, but his AAA numbers were off the charts. He's got a power arm, and the Braves are really high on this kid.
Terán is actually making his second start this spring. First one didn't go so well. We should mention his numbers last year at AAA. He was 15-3 with a 2.55 ERA. That's why the Braves think very highly of him. He was a minor league pitcher of the year in the Braves organization. As Derek Jeter's going to lead it off. Jeter 327 after the All-Star break. He finished last year very strong on a high note. He'd like to get to those. Start off the season the way he ended it last year when he hit in 19 of his last 23 games. He'll be followed by Granderson and Cano. First pitch on the ground to his right is Pasternicki. The long throw, and it's not in time. The first baseman, Freddie Freeman, is pulled off the bag, and we'll see how they score that one. I think Jeter might have himself an infield hit.
See, Pasternicki kind of comes around and surrounds it, gets his foot set, wings it over there, little up the line, and you can see very close. Boy, can't really tell from that angle, but a nice stretch.
Freeman's a big target over at first, but Derek Jeter's going to have himself an infield single. Those are the plays that turn young shortstops into second basemen, though. Here's Curtis Granderson. And he takes the first pitch in there for a strike, and you can see that Terán right away can light up the radar gun. Granderson coming off a tremendous season, finished fourth in the MVP balloting. Jeter's at first with nobody out. Pitch is fouled out of play.
What a year Granderson had last year. He touched home plate 136 times. Far and away the leader in the major leagues in runs scored. You see Kevin Long, the Yankees hitting coach, who had such an impact on Granderson's change of style and his batting stance.
Quicker to the baseball now. Pitch is popped up. This was going to stay in play, and it looks like it's going to be the shortstop Pasternicki who's going to make the catch for the out. Granderson is retired. Well, we saw Pasternicki at short. The Braves defense is brought to you in part by the Home Depot. In the outfield, it's Constanza, Ford, and Diaz. Hicks, Pasternicki, Sutton, and Freeman in the infield. And David Ross doing the catching for Julio Terán. Terán is actually from Cartagena, Colombia. And you get a few baseball players. Where he's from is actually the part of the country where most of the baseball players come from. Edgar Renteria was from that area. The Braves signed him when he was 16 years old for an $850,000 bonus. They must have known something. First pitch to Cano is fouled off. Now the Yankees actually offered more, but the reason why Terán decided to go with the Braves because his uncle was a scout for the Braves. So blood is thicker than money, I guess. But he's on the mound here this afternoon against the Yankees in a Atlanta Brave uniform. Actually, it was his cousin Miguel who scout for the Braves. Jeter at first with one out. Pitch is outside for a ball. Jeter actually broke a little too soon. Looked like he was trying to pick up his first steal of the spring and had to put the brakes on. Signed by the Braves as an amateur free agent. Major League debut May 7, 2011. #1 Braves prospect by Baseball America. He's got a great arm. Cano, an off-speed pitch. Hit hard. Great stop by Freeman. He's going to go to first. It looked as though he couldn't get the ball out of his glove. And Jeter will move down to second, but now there's 2 outs. That was a rocket off the bat of Robinson Cano. A good play by Freeman.
Kenny, I think you're right. He's got time to get Jeter dead to right at second base, but he just decides otherwise. He's a little hung up in the glove, but great play. Plenty of time. He pulls the ripcord, takes the easy out.
Looked like he could almost tag Jeter. Derrick's in second with 2 down to bring up the cleanup hitter, Nick Swisher. Ball's hit hard in the air to left field. This is going to chase the left fielder. Costanza back. Still going back. He can't get it. The ball hits the wall on a short hop. Derek Jeter rounding third. He'll score. And Nick Swisher, with a second opposite field double of spring training, puts the Yankees on the scoreboard. They lead 1-0. That was a rocket to left field.
Well, we've seen Swisher work on this. You know, when he struggled last year at the beginning of the year, he was trying to pull everything left-handed. When he started to get it going, he hit the ball like this the other way, really driving the ball, and he's got that kind of power. But he can easily hit some home runs the other way. You know, Jeter's going to walk home. And Swisher with another booming double the other way.
The runner at second, Eric Chavez to the plate. And he takes a pitch for a strike. Actually, that's the first hit that Tehran has given up this spring that stayed in the ballpark. He pitched against the Detroit Tigers in his first start. Make that his second hit he's given up that stayed in the ballpark. 6 hits he allowed to the Tigers. All of them were home runs. Mix in a singles. Imagine giving up 6 home runs in one game.
Got introduced to Mr. Fielder, I guess, over there. Right?
Yeah, well, he hit one of them. The Tigers hit 9 home runs in that ball game and beat the Braves 18-3. In fact, the Tigers are undefeated this spring. They got off to a good start with the bats, and their pitching's been good as well. This pitch is fouled back, and the count. Yeah, that's 6 home runs allowed. And that's why you get an ERA of 31 plus. 1-2 the count on Eric Chavez. Off-speed pitch is high and away. I can imagine what a pitching coach told him when he walked out there. You're standing too far away from the ball after you throw it.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do in 2 innings, give up 6 home runs.
Braves are playing a split squad game today, and their manager Freddie Gonzalez is actually back in Disney. The Braves have their spring training headquarters. Pitch is foul tipped into the glove of David Ross. Chavez strikes out, but the Yankees strike first. They pick up a run on 2 hits. Nick Swisher with an RBI double. At the end of 1, the Yankees lead it 1-0 over Atlanta.
No one.
Fans, it's a star-studded lineup here on Yes. First, that's on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. The Yankees welcome Bobby Valentine and the Red Sox to Steinbrenner Field. Then get the stories behind the greatest moments of our first decade with the Yes Network special, 10 Years of Yes. It all starts Tuesday at 7, only on Yes. Yankees first look at the Red Sox and Bobby V. Swinging at the first pitch here. 10 years, man. Time flies when you're having a good time. And there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that fans probably haven't seen before, and a lot of the highlights from what's happened in 10 years of Yes is Freddie Freeman's a hitter. Freeman had himself a good rookie year, big first baseman, second in the National League in the Rookie of the Year balloting, lost out to his teammate closer Craig Kimbrell, who had 46 saves, a rookie record. Braves have always been known to produce some good young players. Strong farm system for years. Off-speed pitch from Garcia's outside for a ball, and it's 1-2. There is Carlos Tosca. We mentioned that Freddie Gonzalez, the manager, is back over at Disney. The Braves split squad, they're over at back at their headquarters. They're playing the Mets today, so it's a case of New York for Atlanta today. Check swing, and he went around too far, and that's strike 3. So Freddie Garcia picks up his first strikeout. Freddie Freeman out on strikes.
Well, you see Freddie Garcia can make the ball move either way. Look at the ball go straight down. That's almost like the splitter he gets on top of that almost has hooking action down and in. And Freeman, borderline check swing. I think could have gone either way. Got to feel pretty good about that if you're on the mound. You got that call.
Well, you want to move it right along because you got a flight tonight, don't you?
That's right.
Here's David Ross, the catcher. He's the backup to Brian McCann, the Braves perennial all-star. And that pitch is outside for a ball. In fact, McCann, Chipper Jones, Jason Hayward, Dan Ugler, some of the Braves stars didn't have to travel today. Ross hits one hard, and it's through the hole. A solid single to left field, and the Braves have their first base run. So 1 out and 1 on. Garcia gives up a single. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Christian Bethencourt. Now, David, this is second time through for Freddie Garcia. I know he's scheduled to go an extra inning, but from a personal standpoint, there's Joe Girardi and watching intently as Garcia goes through his paces. From a personal standpoint as a pitcher, what are you looking for the second time through?
Well, you want to mix in all your pitches. You want to, if you're having trouble with a particular off-speed pitch, you see there with a breaking ball high, then you want to. It's a good game to work it in. We know that Freddie Garcia has a good splitter to go with that fastball, and a lot of times it's that big slow curve that's the last pitch to come for a pitcher in spring training. So I'd be looking for some breaking balls today from Freddie.
Little bouncer, foul behind home plate.
Well, Freddie's a veteran guy. He's not going to panic, but he's also fully aware that he's in a battle to win a rotation spot for that 5th spot with Phil Hughes. And even though he has a guaranteed contract, as you said, Kenny, coming in, with the Yankees and the moves they've made, there's no lock at the end of the rotation. You have to earn it.
Bethencourt lifts one in the air to left field for Andrew Jones, who drifts back and makes the catch for out number 2. I was talking to Andrew before the game today, and he said that, about the sun and the wind in Florida and how that makes it a little bit more difficult to play the outfield. Here's a guy, if he thinks it's hard, he won 10 Gold Gloves in a row. What is somebody like me supposed to think when I was playing the outfield? I was worried about survival. But Andrew still can go get him. Here's Drew Sutton, the second baseman. The ball gets by Russell Martin. And David Ross is going to head down to second. We'll see how they score that. And that's going to be a wild pitch.
You see it's a curveball down. Looks like Russell's got a beat on it, but just right through the wickets. Just somehow snuck through there.
It could have been called a pass ball. He usually stops those. Catchers take a lot of pride keeping the ball away from the customers behind home plate. That pitch he stops that one. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on the left-handed hitter.
Well, as a catcher, you've got to anticipate catching Freddie Garcia. There's going to be some balls in the dirt. He's got splitters that are effective. There's a splitter down, and that's where he needs to be with those types of pitches. Freddie Garcia, he's got 12 wins in 9 major league seasons. It's the 4th best among all active pitchers currently.
So at least a dozen wins in 9 seasons. Another stop by Russell Martin. And the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes.
CC Sabathia, his teammates, got 10.
You get enough of them, get to 200, then you make the march for 300. Freddie Garcia, 50 games over 500 in his career, 145 and 95. He's been a winning pitcher. 3-0 pitch, and that is poured in there for a call strike. 3-1. Drew Sutton, the second baseman today, in place of Dan Uggla, who's probably going through his paces back at the Champions Field in Orlando. That pitch is low, and it's ball 4. There's 2 men on with 2 outs. The first walk of the afternoon handed out by Freddie Garcia to go along with a strikeout. Speaking of Dan Uggla, he had 36 home runs last year. Had some power from second base, and it kind of makes up for some of the power the Braves don't have in their outfield. They only hit 41 home runs. They only got 41 home runs from their outfielders. So most of their power is from the infield. Here's Brandon Hicks, third baseman this afternoon. Swings at an off-speed pitch, and it's strike 1.
Well, that's a great point, Kenny. You know, other than Jason Hayward, who will probably play right field, and you got Michael Bourne, who's a speedster in center, and then of course, you know, Martin Prado probably is going to play left. Not known for his power, but you know, more of a line drive guy.
And Hayward's trying to have a bounce back sort of year. He's off his rookie form. That pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. Hicks showed some power last year to minors with 18 homers. But right now he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. See if Garcia tries to get him to chase a pitch. Breaking ball, little chopper foul. Looked like it hit him in the foot. And the count remains, no balls and 2 strikes. At this point, it looks like Freddie's having a little trouble getting that breaking ball down.
Yeah, that's probably why you're going to see a few of those thrown today by Freddie. You know, you need to get the feel for those, and usually in your second and third start is when you start breaking out your secondary pitches and trying to get a feel for the spin.
Foul tipped off the bat into the glove of Russell Martin. That will go as a strikeout for Freddie Garcia. The Braves are going to leave 2 men on here in the top of the second without scoring. Going to the bottom of the second, the Yankees maintain a 1-0 lead. Sunday afternoon, the Yankees gear up for the 2012 season when they host the Philadelphia Phillies here at Steinbrenner Field. Coverage on Yes starts at 1. When the great Lou Piniella joins Michael Kay in the booth for his Yes Network debut. Phillies and Yankees, it all starts Sunday at 1, only on Yes. Well, not many empty seats here today. In fact, I don't see hardly any at all. Yankees leading 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. I don't know about you, David, but You know, once I realized I was going to make the team, you know, I got to that point in my career. Spring training was like the easiest time of the season. Just getting ready.
Everybody's favorite time. Yeah, veteran players.
Yeah, I wanted to get my hits, but you know, an 0 for 3, 0 for 2, you know, it didn't really matter. Here's Russell Martin. And Russell hits a rocket down the third baseline. That is by Hicks, and Martin's going to have himself a lead-off two-base hit. As Constanza gets the ball back in. Man, he didn't waste any time jumping on that pitch. Second double of the ball game for the Yankees.
Veteran move by Russell Martin, the catcher, sitting on a first pitch fastball. Start that swing. You're looking for it. You get it early. You get it down the line, and you got a double.
I think the way that Tirana was hitting his last game, and that pitch was right down the middle. Now, I know you throw 95, 96, but big league hitters, you don't get the big leagues unless you can hit a fastball. And if you put it in the middle, they're going to hit it. Here's Andrew Jones, former Atlanta Brave All-Star. And he takes a breaking ball up high for ball one. Over the outside corner for a call strike, and you hear the pop of the glove. He does have a strong arm. The Braves rotation should be Tim Hudson, Tommy Hanson, Jair Jurgens, Brandon Beachy, and Mike Minor. They got some pretty good arms in that rotation. But they also have this young man knocking on the door.
Easy gas in the mid-90s. That last fastball, 96.
Breaking ball down and away, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Andrew Jones.
You know, he's shown us his entire repertoire. He's got a good straight change, and you see the projected rotation right there. I mean, this kid's got to bump somebody out of there, and as of now, it's going to be hard on him.
One thing you notice there, everybody had a winning record. Breaking ball misses, 3 balls and a strike. Now the Braves, like the Red Sox, they want to forget the tail end of the season. They had an 8.5 game lead on September 5th in a wild card, and they gave it up. Not quite as big as the 9 game lead that the Red Sox. If it wasn't for the Red Sox, the Braves would have been the story of a collapse. Ball is hit high and deep to right center field. Going back is Bourne. Still going back to the warning track and makes the catch. Tagging at second and moving over to third easily is Russell Martin. Andrew Jones gave that one a ride. So he advances the runner to third with 1 out.
Well, one thing about Michael Bourne in center field is you see Andrew Jones up and out over the plate and just hammers it. If it stays in the ballpark, this guy's going to catch it.
I'll tell you what, David, if the wind was blowing like it was the other day, that ball's out of the ballpark. That's somewhere out there on Dale Mabry. Here's Chris Dickerson, who this afternoon is the designated hitter. Braves bring the infield in with 1 out. And the first pitch to Dickerson looked like a changeup, but it's in there for a call strike. Braves not only a strong rotation, they have a strong bullpen. You mentioned Craig Kimbrell. He's not the only one. Pitch is fouled back. A little late on a heater. Johnny Benners and Eric O'Flaherty. 2 hard-throwing setup men. It could be young closers on another team. It's Robbie Thompson talking it over with Russell Martin at third. Dickerson in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Yankees trying to add to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Swung on and missed on a high fastball. Blew it right by him. 2011 season review for the Braves. Freddie Gonzalez replaces the legendary Bobby Cox. Jason Hayward has a sophomore slump. Rookie sensation is Freddie Freeman, second in the Rookie of the Year balloting. And the dominant duo in the bullpen, Venters and Kimbrell. But then it all fell apart in September for the Atlanta Braves as they fell out of playoff contention. Here's Jorge Vasquez. And he takes one upstairs for a ball. So now there's 2 outs. The Braves drop the infield back. Vasquez had himself a pretty good year last year at AAA. 32 home runs and 93 runs batted in for Scranton Wilkes-Barre in 118 ball games. Good swing and fouls it back. Final 32 games of the season for the Braves, and that was after August 24th. They won 11-21. They just couldn't hit. Stopped scoring. The pitching wasn't all that bad, but they led the Cardinals by 10.5 games on August 23rd. And of course, the Cardinals rallied, went on to become the world champions. Breaking ball hit in the air to center field for Bourne once again. He's on the run once again. Turns, makes the catch. He's got some kind of speed out there in center field. Runs that one down, saves the Braves a run. At the end of 2, the Yankees lead the Atlanta Braves by a score of 1-0 as Michael Bourne shows off his speed. Girardi's Yankees enjoying a 1-0 lead on the Atlanta Braves. Joe trying to get him back on the winning track. There's the injury update on David Robertson. Wednesday injured his foot, tripped on the steps. Thursday x-rays and MRI, sprained right midfoot. Today feeling better in a walking boot and crutches. And you can see what he did last year and what he means for the Yankee bullpen. And Jack Curry is joining us now. And Jack, you're trying to get through spring training without any injuries on the field, and they really hurt when they come off the field.
But you hear Joe Girardi and every other manager, what's the most important thing about spring training? Get through it healthy, get everyone healthy. And here's David Robertson just trying to move a box from one flight of stairs down in his house. And then he told us again today, Kenny, he explained it a little more. He actually only tripped on one step. It wasn't even the flight of stairs.
Slash towards Jeter at short. He's going to have to hustle, and he throws Costanza out for out number 1.
But I think what happened today is we're still waiting for news. In fact, a few minutes before the game started, I touched base with Brian Cashman, and he said they're still waiting the test results. After the first MRI that David had, the Yankees saw enough in that MRI that they wanted to send him for further tests. So he had a CAT scan and a weight-bearing x-ray, and they're waiting on that. The positive news from Robertson said it wasn't swollen, said it felt better today. But he's anxious. He wants to know the answer as much as the Yankees do. As you said, you look at the numbers and what he did last year. I'm not sure there was a more important player on this team than David Robertson. So the Yankees hoping that they get positive results.
Yeah, he really came into his own once Rafael Soriano went down with an injury. Little bunt, good play. Martin pounces, throws. Excellent play by the Yankee catcher. Well, Michael Bourne trying to show off his speed. That's his identity.
The Bourne identity, yes. And it's a smart play, but Russell Martin has impressed us last year and then into this spring training with his athleticism and pounces on that. All in one motion, the slide, the pop-up, and a bullet. An excellent play by Russell Martin.
So 2 up and 2 down will bring up Tyler Pasternicki. Let's move on to Freddie Garcia, Jack. Does he give you a sense he's feeling any pressure whatsoever? This guy is cool as a cucumber to me.
No pressure, Kenny, and you watch him out there, and in his own way, and David, I'm not sure if you agree with this, but for a guy who doesn't throw really more than 87, he's artistic out there. He is getting the hitters to swing at his pitches. He's very deceptive, and no, I don't think he feels any pressure, Kenny, and he said after his last start, if he had to end up in the bullpen, so be it. He would pitch out of the bullpen.
Ball and a strike to Tyler Pasternicki.
I don't think there's anybody in the big leagues who went through the whole season with 5 starters. You know, generally speaking, you're going to need 6, 7, 8, 9 different guys who are going to have to start games for you. Sometimes even more. So Freddie's got the right attitude.
Ground ball to second. Cano gobbles it up. Freddie Garcia, as we said, cool as a cucumber. 1, 2, 3. And Jack's going to stay with us. He's not going anywhere. Stay tuned for Jack Curry in the bottom of the 3rd. Well, fans, Tuesday, it's a star-studded lineup here on Yes. First at 7, the Yankees welcome Bobby Valentine and the Boston Red Sox to Steinbrenner Field. Then get the stories behind the greatest moments of our first decade with the Yes Network special, 10 Years of Yes. It all starts at 7, only on Yes. 10 years. I've been here for every one of those years. It's flown by. I've had a great time every year. 9 of those 10 years, the Yankees have made the playoffs. That'll quench your playoff thirst. And Derek Jeter is going to lead it off here in the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Yankees leading 1-0. And as we mentioned, Jack wasn't going anywhere. Jack Curry still with David Cohn and myself here in the booth. And you had a chance to talk to the youngster, Manny Banuelos, who's going to pitch today.
Right, Manny Banuelos will be in this game today for all those Yankee fans who want to see the, well, soon-to-be 21-year-old. He turns 21 in a few days. They'll get that opportunity later. But Kenny and David, for the fans who watch him closely, he made an adjustment, a mechanical adjustment in his delivery last year. And he used to, from a stretch position, have his hands right about where his navel is. But the Yankees wanted him to move those hands up a little higher. So now they're about chest high. And he actually said, though he agreed with the move, it was one of the reasons why he thinks he struggled with his fastball command. He walked more batters. He said when you've pitched a certain way your whole career, to make that change, it's a big adjustment. So watch where those hands are. If he does get some guys on base from a stretch position, the hands will be up a little higher. And he said it's all about a smoother delivery to the plate. And it does make him feel smoother when he does go that route.
We'll see. We'll watch for that when he comes in, but he's going to have to allow somebody to get on base. You see?
And maybe he doesn't want to have that happen.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch he and Dellin Betances kind of before the game, the two of them comparing notes. And Betances, who pitched yesterday, he said to me he really has to remind himself to just focus on the batter and not the situation. Not that he's at Major League spring training and he's trying to impress people. He just has to tell himself, try and get an out. And he did that yesterday finally. He had a bases loaded situation against the Blue Jays, 1 man out, and he said, you know what, my two-seamer is what's working best for me right here. That's the pitch I'm going to use. And he was able to get a double play ground out and get out of that inning.
Jeter ahead on the count, 3 balls and 1 strike, leading it off for the Yankees. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of 30. Swings it to high chopper towards the middle. Pastornicki from behind the bag throws on the run. Nice play by the young shortstop as he throws out the veteran Jeter. And there's 1 down. Now the Braves in the past have gone with young shortstops. Go back to Rafael Furcal. He was a rookie, and the Braves installed him in the lineup. And they did the same thing with Yunel Escobar. This is a great play by the youngster. Tyler Pastornicki. Remember that name. Now, Jack, the Yankees, you mentioned Banuelos, you mentioned Betances. You got Adam Warren, you got David Phelps. The Yankees are kind of stockpiling their arms in the minor leagues just in case something goes wrong at the big league level.
Kenny, I think it goes back to what David said earlier. You're not going to go through a season where you don't need to dip down to your 6th, 7th, 8th guy. And one of those kids with Phelps and Warren, I think, being ahead of the Banuelos and Betances right now, they could be that guy. No one wants to have injuries, but if the Yankees had a couple of injuries in their rotation, a guy like Phelps or Warren could get a look. And Joe Girardi told the team that before the season began. He said, we're not going to use 25 players this year. We're going to use closer to 40 or 50 or however many players. And I think they used, what, 26 or 28 pitchers last year?
Yeah.
You're going to get your shot, and you have to be ready when it comes.
Well, the thing is that you mentioned Warren, you mentioned Phelps, maybe a little ahead on the left. They've got more experience. They're a little older.
That's what I think it is. I think the Yankees in a perfect world would want Betances and Banuelos to spend the entire year at AAA. Let them get those 150, 170 innings at AAA. No pressure on them. Brian Cashman has already said, I don't want to put pressure on these guys to fix a problem or a situation that I should be able to fix with someone else. Don't force a kid to come in and be your savior, so to speak.
Swing and a miss. Turan has a strong arm. I mean, he's got it 95, 96 on the radar gun, but you can see he falls behind hitters. He's not quite fine-tuned as of yet. David and I were talking about the Braves organization and how many pitchers do they do a very good job of scouting Georgia as well. A lot of their pitchers, young pitchers, come from within their own area. There's ball 4 to Granderson.
Right, as impressive as he was at AAA last year, 15-3 with about a 2.5 ERA. He probably is 6th or 7th on their depth chart right now. You have Hudson and Jurgens and Hansen, Beachy and Minor. I mean, and they're the top 5 prospects within their organization. That's pretty nice when 4 of them are pitchers.
Yeah. Here's Cano, who hit a rocket, was robbed of a hit by Freddie Freeman. There's a throw over the first to check on Granderson. There's one thing I didn't have to worry about in spring training, guys. Granderson at first, I didn't have to worry about my stolen base skills getting ready for the season. It was a permanent stop sign whenever I got to first base. And I'm thinking about Granderson's over there now. He stole 25 bases last year. When does he decide I got to at least steal 1 base to prove to myself I can still do it?
Knowing Curtis, he's got that mapped out. He's got that organized, because I know in talking to him the other day about his swing, he said that you have to come back and do it all over again. It's the drills, and he feels comfortable with those changes that he and Kevin Long made more than a year ago. But you still have to get out there and do it. You're seeing pitching for the first time. I'm sure it's the same way with running the bases.
Cano fouls one off. Just an all-around great season for Curtis Granderson last year. 41 homers, 25 stolen bases. Power and speed. You toss in 10 triples. He's got himself a pretty good lead over there at first base. Jack, we saw Cano move into the 3rd spot in the order. And this is something that's been a work in progression over the last few years. You could just see him become better and better and better, and one of the better hitters in the game. And now this is his spot.
I think smart move by Joe Girardi. Did it toward the end of last season. Hung with Mark Teixeira for as long as he could. But I think you go up and down that Yankee clubhouse and you ask players, who's the best player on the team? It's Robinson Cano. And we learn at a young age that the best hitter hits third. And Robinson Cano is the best hitter on this team right now.
Timeout is called, and I'm not sure who called it. There's a certain bit of timing on each pitch, and you could see that was over the limit. It was probably Cano who called it. Home plate umpire is Mark Carlson. And those are the numbers. And you can see the progression, particularly in the RBI column.
Power, RBIs average, and durability too as well. Robinson Cano just out there every day.
Granderson, he was leaning towards second, but he has to retreat to first. Jack, what kind of sense do you get in the clubhouse? I know it's not the time of spring training, but towards the end, players get tired of being down here. They want to play for real. I mean, they're getting the pitchers ready right now. This is what spring training is all about.
You know what, Kenny, it's interesting you say that. I was down outside the clubhouse maybe 20 minutes before the game, and I watched Derek Jeter take batting practice on the field before the game, and now he's in the cages that they have underneath taking more swings. And I think it's all, as you just said, with that pitch, that errant pitch, it's about timing. I think that's what every player is trying to do right now, trying to get themselves to a point where they feel comfortable. And it's early March now, and they have a lot of time, but in the next 3 or 4 weeks, they just want to get themselves to a point where going into the season, they feel that they're ready.
Ball in the dirt, knocked down by the catcher David Ross. No advance for Granderson.
You know, as we watch Cano at the plate, it's hard to think of Cano sometimes without thinking of his father and throwing him BP and winning the home run derby at the All-Star game. I was watching David Wells throw batting practice today, and I put on Twitter, Jack Curry, yes, by the way, I put on Twitter that I've never seen a guy throw better batting practice than David Wells. It's so automatic. And a fan tweeted me and said, what about Jose Cano? And I said, that's a pretty good comparison, because for Robinson, he's right there. I think for David Wells, he's right there for everybody. I mean, it's almost as if you put $2 in the machine and here's 15 strikes straight ahead. And that's what I think, Kenny, you want in BP, don't you?
Yeah,
you want it right there.
You want it right there so you can do anything you want with it. You know, maybe get to that last round, you try and jack a few out of the ballpark. But who knows Robinson's swing better than his dad? I mean, he's probably the first one ever to throw a ball in his direction. Call, strike three. Teheran paints the outside corner. There's David Wells throwing batting practice, and you know, David Wells would know for his great control.
It's hard to find lefties to throw straight balls for batters. You know, they don't want to see the ball move. No two-seamers, no cutters, and David Wells right in there, belt high, all day long.
Coney, how long would it take for you to get ready to throw batting practice?
Ooh, boy, that'd be a while. I'll tell you that right now. You got to get ready for Old Timers Day. See if I can give Tino up another homer.
Here's Nick Swisher, almost hit one out of here in the first inning, a double that drove in the only run of the game. Boy, another ground. Good stop by Freeman again. Steps on the bag, and Swisher's retired. You can't hit it harder than that, but the Yankees will leave a runner here at the bottom of the third. We want to thank Jack Curry for stopping by. All kinds of information from Jack. We'll be back with the fourth.
87 miles an hour, but his splitter is still above average in my opinion. His secondary pitches are really of a quality nature, and I don't think he gets enough credit for the type of secondary stuff he has.
Freddie Freeman takes a pitch for a call strike. Freeman was struck out by Freddie Garcia in the second inning. Pitch is fouled off, and Soriano throwing strikes, jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Garcia, 3 innings, no runs, a hit, 2 strikeouts, and a walk in his second time to the mound this spring. So good outing. Trying to get Freeman to chase, he wouldn't do it.
That's all really Freddie Garcia can do. I mean, an easy 3 innings, 32 pitches, 1 hit, 3 scoreless. He made it look easy.
Bouncing ball, fully hit to second for Cano. And it's going to be 2 outs here in the 4th inning. We talked about how the Braves, and we showed you the graphic in which their hitting kind of fell off in September. Well, they have themselves a new hitting coach this year. Greg Walker, who had been the hitting coach for the Chicago White Sox, with the departure of R.Z. Guillen going to Miami, Greg Walker now goes to the Atlanta Braves. And he's a veteran hitting coach. Larry Parrish had been a hitting coach, but he had never been a hitting coach up until last year. So now it's Greg Walker who has that job. Walker is back at Champion Field, where the Braves are playing the Mets in the split squad game. 2 outs, David Ross to the plate. He has the only hit for the Braves. He had a single, solid single in the second inning, and he fouls one out of play here. That one just missed the corner. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
You know, with Robertson's foot injury that we talked about on our pregame show, you know, it sort of escalates this guy, Soriano, back to the setup guy possibly at the beginning of the year, depending on how long David Robertson's going to need to get back on the mound.
Hit high in the air to left field. Andruw Jones drifting back. And he's having some problems when he and Granderson run together, but Granderson holds on. Holds on. Well, we said it can be an adventure in the outfield here in spring training in Florida with the wind and the sun, and now a collision. Granderson stays with it along with Andruw Jones. Jones is having problems. Granderson makes the play. Top of the New York Yankees with the largest selection of authentic spring training gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get set for spring at the official source the Yankees.com shop. Looks like Granderson's okay. Joe Girardi checking on his all-star center fielder. And it looks like he's none the worse for wear after getting run over by Andruw Jones out in left center field. He hung on like any good wide receiver would after taking a good bump.
You could almost hear the Yankees coaching staff with a collective sigh of relief. You see Curtis Granderson go down in a spring training game. That's going to make you a little nervous. But luckily he's fine. Could have been worse.
Yeah, it certainly could have been. I've seen some bad collisions over the years in the outfield, and infielders in particular running into outfielders chasing pop-ups. Here's Eric Chavez, who was a strikeout victim in the first inning, facing a new pitcher, Christian Martinez. Comes on in relief of Julio Teheran. And there's Martinez's numbers. How about that 197 batting average against? That jumps out right away. Maybe there's a reason for it. A good changeup. That one looked like it stopped halfway to home plate. 1 ball and a strike to Chavez, will be followed by Martin and Jones for the Yankees here in the 4th. His ball's hit well, the right center field. Bourne going back, and he's looking up, and this one is off the wall. Chavez is in the second with a leadoff double. That started off for the Yankees here in the 4th. That one didn't miss by much at going out of the ballpark.
Chavez his whole career has had a power bat. Out over the plate, gets extension. The only question is whether it's going to stay in or not. You see the short hop off the warning track and up the wall, and an easy stand-up double for Chavez.
Look the way Bourne slowed down right there. He thought the ball was going out of the ballpark. So runner at second. The Yankees' 3rd double of the afternoon. And to bring up Russell Martin, who has 1 of them. Martin jumped on a first pitch fastball last time up. Jumps on the first pitch here. Ground ball. Pastornicky throws the third, and out is Eric Chavez. Brandon Hicks makes the tag, and that's a base running mistake. The ball was in front of him.
Well, Chavez is a Gold Glove third baseman and a great bat, but he's never been known for his base running, that's for sure. And nice play by Pastornicky, and a cardinal sin. If you're a base runner on second base, you little leaguers, the ball's hit in front of you, you hold. Chavez makes the mistake and pays.
That's a base running sin if you're playing for the Cardinals or anybody else. Here's Andruw Jones, who flied out to very deep center field in the second inning. So Martin safe at first on the fielder's choice as Jones takes a pitch for a call strike. That was not a veteran move on the bases. And you can figure over the years how many guys has Chavez tagged out on that very same play. Jones takes a pitch outside, and it's a ball and a strike. The Braves are 1-5 this spring. The Yankees are 2-4. The Yankees won their first 2 games. They're trying to shake a 4-game losing streak. Change up, swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes. And I know they're just spring training games, but you want that feel in your clubhouse of playing some good baseball, winning some games.
Yeah, there's too many extra coaches down here in spring training, and you know one of them's going to be all over you about that because they're all looking for something to do. A lot of coaching going on in spring training.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Jones hits one in the air to left center and hits it well. On the move is Constanza, and he will reach out and make the catch. Russell Martin was halfway, now has to return. The Yankees are hitting the ball well today. Just can't seem to quite get one over the wall for a home run. So 2 down now. Second time that Andruw Jones has hit the ball on the nose. Constanza on the warning track. Chris Dickerson to the plate. Struck out with a runner on third and 1 out in the second inning. And the Yankees left Russell Martin at third in that inning. So that wasn't good situational hitting. It's one thing they like to work on in spring training. So Dickerson 0 for 1. Runners on the move. The pitch is low for a ball, and it's going to be a stolen base for Russell Martin. That is his second stolen base of the spring.
Great jump. See, he gets almost a little bit of a false start, but he's long gone before the ball's delivered to home plate, and Russell Martin gets a changeup, and you see catcher cannot get the handle. Easily one of the most athletic catchers in the game, Russell Martin.
There's a changeup in there for a strike. Russell Martin stole 8 bases for the Yankees last year. Most of them came early in the season. After a while, I think teams started to pay a little bit more attention to him. You know, just, oh, he's a catcher at first. He's not going anywhere. Well, he's got the capabilities. 2-1 the count to Dickerson. Fouls it back. And it's 2-2. Dickerson has some tools. He's got some power. Definitely has some speed. The Yankees employed him most of the time last year as a defensive replacement for Nick Swisher late in ball games in which they had the lead. Very strong throwing arm. But he's the DH this afternoon. 2-2 pitches on the way, and it is called strike 3. Caught looking. Yankees going to leave a runner in scoring position. We've played 4 innings at Steinbrenner Field. Yankees leading 1-0. On our Audi scoreboard, the Yankees leading 1-0. It's the top of the 5th, and that means it's time to go down to the dugout. We have an opportunity to speak with manager Joe Girardi. And Joe, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me today, Kenny and Coney. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Maybe not as well as your pitching's doing today thus far.
Well, I hope it stays that way. You know, we have a young guy, Benuelos, pitching today that we have high hopes for as he continues to progress up the ladder. But outstanding stuff, and you know, I think his secondary stuff still needs to come around a little bit, but we're really excited about the potential with him.
Speaking of pitching, how did you think that Mr. Garcia worked for you today?
Freddie was Freddie, right? He used that split to his advantage and locate and change speeds. Freddie's a veteran and really knows how to get it done.
And Soriano, he was quick, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, very quick. Got some ground balls, and that's always a good sign.
Now, one of your other relievers, we're kind of waiting the debut of Mariano. Any news when he might take the mound?
I haven't got an exact date. He's thrown his 2 live BPs, so it could be this weekend. I'm not sure. It might be early next week. It's kind of a situation where
first pitch is hit in the air to left field. Andrew Jones dealing with the sun and the wind, and he's got it. There's one down.
You know, Mo's one of those guys that tells you what he's going to do. You know, there aren't too many guys.
Well, he's earned it
as a manager that you let do that. But when Mo's ready, he's going to go out.
Now, Joe, a collision out there in the outfield. What were you thinking when you saw your center fielder laying on the ground on his back?
Get up, please. And I told Grandy, I said, will you tell Andrew Jones that I know he was one of the greatest center fielders that played, but he's no longer a center fielder, so get out of the way. We had that pop-up priority drill already in spring.
How about David Robertson? We've been talking about him up here in the booth, and I know that they've had some tests, and there might be some ongoing tests as far as his sprained foot is concerned.
Yeah, we're still awaiting to see what it is. I know the results got up to New York today, and we're still waiting to see what it is. They should have got, the CDs or whatever you want to call them, the DVDs this morning. So I'm just kind of waiting for Steve Donahue to let me know what's going on.
Joe, the bats just seem to come alive a little bit today. They've hit the ball well. That must be good to see.
Yeah, it's always great to see. And as you start getting going, you want to see more and more quality at bats where guys are getting deeper into counts and centering the ball up a little bit more. And we've seen that today.
Here's a line drive. Jeter's going to have the soft liner for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for Banuelos. How about Nick Swisher? I mean, the last couple of games, he seems to be right on. Hit the ball well to the opposite field again today. And that's, to me, when you start hitting the ball the other way with authority, that's a good sign.
It's a great sign. And left-handed, he's going to hit the ball the other way more than he is right-handed. Right-handed, he's pretty much of a pull hitter. And we were just talking about, when there's a runner on second and he's up right-handed with no one out, we don't want him to give himself up and just try to hit a ground ball to second base. Go ahead and drive the ball. And for some guys, that can be very tough. But when we see his swing left-handed and him driving the ball the other way, that's a great sign.
Yeah, Joe, the top of the lineup, Jeter, Granderson, and Cano. Is that what we're looking for at opening day? You're going to stick with that kind of, what worked so well last year for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at. If we were to start today, I mean, that's probably what I would do. And we'll continue to see if we need to make any adjustments during spring training. But, I mean, you look at what Jeet did after he got the 3,000 hits in the leadoff spot. He was very good. And, Grandy obviously hit number 2, had a great year. And I think you could hit Grandy anywhere, and he's going to swing it. The same with Robbie Cano.
It's a pretty good fastball on that last pitch.
See, now I like that. I love that. I mean, hitters, you think about left-handers, they're going to think more. They're going to try to throw me a changeup away or something out over the plate away, and they're going to try to go get it. Make them a little uncomfortable. Oof.
That wasn't that far off, Joe. That oof was well deserved.
Can I have a replay on that, please?
Well, we got the middle of the plate. You got the height down there. Was it low?
I didn't think it was low.
No, I didn't think it was low either. Maybe just off the corner. Here's the payoff pitch. And it's hitting the air to right field. Going back, and Swisher still on the run. He's not going to get it. The ball one hop over the wall. And it's going to be a 2-out ground rule double for Brandon Hicks, the third baseman, who hit a pretty decent pitch down and away.
I mean, when you look at Banuelos' stuff, I mean, he's got really good stuff, and he's got a really good fastball. And when he gets his sinker going too, I mean, you think about a young man who can throw 95. He's got a pretty good sinker. The thing about his sinker, though, is he has to pitch it more to contact, and at times he gets a little bit too fine with it.
We see the replay here, and I'll tell you what, Hicks hit a pretty good pitch that was out over the plate, and he went with it. If he was thinking about pulling the ball, he would have hit a weak ground ball to short. So now a runner in scoring position. These are situations where you like to see what young pitchers can do when they get somebody when they get in a little bit of trouble, how they can get out of it.
How they respond. Are they able to make the pitches that they need to do? And that's what Freddie's so good at. In these situations, Freddie knows not to give in. If I get behind, I have an open base. The things that you need to know, and you need to keep in perspective what's going on in the bat and what the count is and who's hitting behind him.
That's a good breaking ball, and right away Costanza's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes.
Mr. Costanza can run a little bit. He's faster than the Costanza we've usually heard about in New York.
But right now he's in a place where you don't want to be. No balls and 2 strikes. And he slashes one foul down the third base side. Joe, we talked about the last game that we did. We talked about the other ball club. We talked about the other ball club. And the Braves, they've been a good organization for a very long time. And the fans in Atlanta certainly appreciate their Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have a lot of banners up there when you go to the new Atlanta Stadium that says they won a lot of years in a row. And This is a club that was one game away from making the playoffs last year. Has a very strong back end of the bullpen. Has good starting pitching, and I think it's a club that people are going to have to be concerned about this year.
There's always been that's one of their strong suits over the years, that they're starting pitching. Going back to Maddox and Glavin and Schmaltz.
And they've made some great deals to acquire pitchers. They've made some great free agent signs as well over the years. But they've also developed a lot of pitchers. And they've done a great job with that.
Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yankees have a 1-0 lead. Manager Joe Girardi kind enough to be with us here in the top of the 5th. Joe, you're trying to break a 4-game losing streak here.
Yes, it would be nice to do that. We're not used to that, and we don't like that. So, I mean, we're talking about turning it around today.
You know, and I'd mentioned that, you know, there's spring training games. People will say they don't count, but in a way they do, because you're building up confidence as you head towards opening day. Well,
you also want to feel good about what you're doing as a club, as a player, as an individual. And you know what? It does matter to some people. I mean, there are guys trying to make the team, and if defensively, you know, you're not quite as sharp and you're a step slow that day. That makes a big difference when a guy's trying to make a team. So it does mean stuff to people.
Bouncing ball foul. The count was 0-2, and now Constanza has fought his way to a full count against Banuelos.
Yeah, these were the times when George Steinbrenner would come down to the clubhouse in spring training just to let you know, hey, what's going on? You know, it's 4 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, I think doing the right things to win ball games and being in the right places at the right time is important. And we don't take that for granted.
Once again, the payoff pitch on the way. And it is called strike 3. Banuelos does get out of the jam. Leaves a runner in scoring position with 2 downs as he strikes out Constanza. Joe, we want to thank you for being with us. Pitching looks sharp this afternoon.
Well, have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Joe. One nothing Yankees on the Audi scoreboard. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Right now we're going to kick it down towards just outside of the Yankee clubhouse where Jack Curry is standing by. Jack.
Thanks very much, Kenny. And David, the latest with your midfoot sprain. Have you heard anything yet from the doctors?
I hadn't heard any new news. We're still waiting on some that second opinion and from specialists in New York. So just wait and see. As of right now, I mean, it's just a sprain and just kind of waiting it out.
You came in this morning and you were more encouraged, even though you still have the boot on and you have the crutches. You said that's precautionary. You felt a little better and there's no swelling. You said those are good signs.
Yeah, my foot's not really swollen at all. It's just a little tender standing on it. I mean, it's just the same thing. It's like spraining your ankle. It's just in the middle of my foot. So it's just basically I'm going to have to wait and see how long it takes for it to go away. You know, I've got the best care in there with Stevie and just going to wait.
What's the best case scenario? How soon before you could be throwing a baseball again?
Best case would be, hopefully maybe like Monday or Tuesday. If a foot feels good, get back out there and play a little catch and stand on it for a little while and get this boot off.
I know how active a guy you are. How difficult is this for you to just be able to sit down, go to the trainer's room, have to use crutches? That's got to be difficult.
It is. It's tough for me. I like to, be outside and move around and do all sorts of things, and can't do anything except kind of lounge around here and get treatment.
And you were sort of sheepish, and you even said you're a little embarrassed that this ever even happened by just carrying a box. Not even down a flight of stairs. You told us this morning just that one stair is what got you.
One step got me, and I wasn't even carrying anything in the box. It was just empty, and it's just embarrassing because I've been up and down the stairs of my house 1,000 times and, just not paying attention, and it cost me.
Kenny and David, the Yankees need David Robertson back. When we get the test results, you guys will hear him. Back to you.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, David. The fact is, David Robertson's a big reason why the Yankees had the best bullpen ERA in the major leagues last season. 2-1 to count on Derek Jeter, who's at the plate right now. We have a substitution at third for the Atlanta Braves. And that is Turdasevich. Joey Turdasevich is now playing at third base. Jeter has a hit. He scored the only run of the game. That came back in the first inning. And he'll draw base on balls here with one out in the fifth.
Well, one final point on David Robertson, Kenny. The mid-foot sprain. I hope we don't hear Liz Frank like we heard with Chen Ming Wong, and we saw what that did to his career. So you can't take any chances with David Robertson. He's far too valuable. A mid-foot sprain. Hopefully, everything's negative, but even if it's okay and he gets on the mound too quickly and starts throwing and he's not pushing off like he normally does, you could leave yourself susceptible to some arm problems, and it's just not worth the risk.
Here's Curtis Granderson, who's popped out and drawn a base on balls. And he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. But one thing I came away from that interview, Jack, and David Robertson, is that he said, maybe I can get back out there by Monday or Tuesday. Now, I have a feeling the Yankees aren't going to rush him back that quickly. But at least in his mind, maybe it's not all that bad. 0-2, changeup in there for a strike to Granderson. 41 home runs a year ago, 21 of them at Yankee Stadium, 20 on the road. So broke out almost even. Foul tipped at the plate and counted 0-2. Doesn't matter where you hit him, you hit that many. Very productive year.
Yeah, the thing about Granderson, too, is his swing, like Mark Teixeira's, is tailor-made for Yankee Stadium. 48% of all the balls Granderson put in play last year were fly balls. That's going to translate into more opportunities to carry out of the ballpark.
Bouncing ball foul. You just saw the shot of Kevin Long sitting next to Joe Girardi, but the man just to Girardi's left knew something about some home runs. Yeah, that's Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Reggie had his shoulder replaced over the winter. Nice little scar up above his shoulder. Ball is lined into right field. This is going to be a base hit. Jeter's going to turn at second. He's headed for third. So the Yankees have runners on the corners with one out here in the fifth inning. And from Martinez's standpoint, I think he went to the off-speed one time too many. He showed Granderson a lot of off-speed pitches. This one he hooked in the right field.
He did. You see Granderson stays on it just enough. Even though he's slightly out in front, stays on that just to get a line drive to right field, first and third, and that's what the Yankees hope they see a lot of this year, because as we heard from manager Joe Girardi, this is probably going to be the top of the Yankees lineup. Even though Granderson hit 41 home runs, he's probably going to stay in the 2-hole, and Jeter's going to continue to lead off.
The reason why I say he went there one time too often, because when the hole is open, you just throw something soft, and a good solid left-handed hitter at the plate can pull the ball. You're asking for some trouble. And that's exactly what Martinez got, and maybe even more trouble with Cano at the plate with a chance to drive in a run. Ball's hit in the air to center field. Michael Bourne to his right, fighting the sun, makes the catch. Jeter tags, and he is going to score easily from third base, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead. So Cano doesn't waste any time delivering the run with a sacrifice fly to center. And for Cano, he gets the run batted in.
Robinson Cano's aggressive nature has served him well. doesn't strike out a lot. He doesn't walk a lot. And he swings a lot early in the count. And when he gets good balls to hit, boy, he just is dynamite, especially early in the count.
Here's Nick Swisher, who's hit the ball hard twice. A booming double to left field, and then he was robbed of a hit on a great play by Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Throw to first. Granderson back head first. And we talked about Granderson maybe thinking about getting his legs into stolen base shape. 2 outs. This might be the opportunity to try and set sail for second. Not going. Pitch misses the Swisher, not by much. Nick has a good batting eye. He walked 95 times last year. Came into camp in excellent shape. Fouls this one off, and it's a ball and a strike.
Swisher, one of the more popular Yankees among Yankee fans, just always upbeat, high energy guy, high energy personality in the clubhouse. Things aren't quiet when Nick Swisher walks into the room.
It's always 72 and sunny. Granderson's going, and the pitch is fouled off. So he was thinking about stealing second. It looked like he got a decent jump. When Russell Martin stole second, maybe he had a catcher's intuition. He was looking for an off-speed pitch, and he got one. That was a fastball. But sometimes when you're a hitter and you have an accomplished runner at first who can steal bases, accomplished base stealer, you get more fastballs to hit. Not going, and the pitch is hit on the ground. Top towards second for Sutton. He flips underhanded to get Swisher, and the Yankees are out here in the 5th inning, but they do pick up a run on 1 hit. We've played 5 innings here in Tampa, Florida. It's 2-0 Yankees. Top of the 6th inning, Yankees leading by a score of 2-0. Manny Banuelos into his 2nd inning of work. Top of the order for the Braves, the speedy Michael Bourne. And he slashes one into left field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. So Bourne is aboard for the first time this afternoon. We mentioned he had led the major leagues in steals last year with 61. In fact, you go down back to 2008. Nobody has stolen more bases than Michael Bourn. 215 steals. Got a change at shortstop for the Yankees. Doug Bernier replaces the captain, Derek Jeter, who scored both runs in this afternoon's game. Left with a 1-for-2 afternoon. Here's Tyler Pasternicki, the shortstop. And a changeup is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Russell Martin. You might be looking at the Braves opening day shortstop. So far today, he's grounded to short, grounded to second.
I mentioned his father was a big league ball player with the Kansas City Royals, Cliff Pasternicki, and a former teammate of mine. But he was a third baseman in the Royals organization in the days of George Brett. So that was a bad draw. Kind of like a Yankees farmhand. If you're a shortstop over the last 15 years for the Yankees, and you got Derek Jeter, you're not going to get a chance.
Here's a look at the projected lineup for the Braves. Pretty good ball club. You start with Chipper Jones, future Hall of Famer, over at third base. Swing and a miss. Pasternicki. 3 pitches, he's out of there. You're looking at that Braves lineup, and they need Jason Hayward to come back and have a better year. High fastball right on by him.
Great spot. Banuelos right at the letters on the inner half, inside corner.
That was riding the strike zone. In the dirt, gets away from Russell Martin, and Bourne's going to move down to second. That should be a wild pitch. Matt Diaz is the hitter. Russell Martin shaking his head.
Change up down right off a home plate. Looked like it skipped right off a home plate and changed directions on Russell Martin.
David, you've worked with some very good catchers over the years, and anybody just kind of stand out as you're thinking right along with them as the game goes along? Swing and a miss.
Well, the late great Gary Carter, tragically passing over the last month or so of brain cancer was great for me. I was young in my career. Called a great game, set up well, and another guy, Charlie O'Brien.
Remember Charlie? Yeah.
He's an excellent catcher, defensive catcher for Milwaukee for years in the Mets.
Pitch is hit down to right field line. It is twisting foul over near the Yankee bullpen. And of course, there's the man that caught you perfect game.
Yeah, and of course, Joe was probably the smartest catcher I ever threw to. He was so quick with the signal calling. I could almost just stare at him, and he would go to the next sequence of signs, and just really anticipated the flow as well as anybody I've ever been around, which is probably why he's been such a great manager as well.
Pitch is fouled off by Diaz. The year that Joe worked with us in the booth here on Yes, it was quite obvious he was managing the game as he was doing the game. And it's quite obvious that he was going to be a good manager. He's talking over with Larry Rothschild right now, his pitching coach. Both of them have to be happy with the Yankee pitching thus far this afternoon. The Yankees have just allowed the Braves 3 hits. Ball hit on the ground to short for Bernier. Throws on the first for the out. And the runner Bourne moves over to third. But there's 2 down now. It'll bring up Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Is that TP over at third? Yeah. Terry Pendleton, coach at third. Former National League MVP. Big time third baseman in the 90s with the Atlanta Braves.
Great hitter, great defender, all around player.
Switch hitter. I'm partial to the switch hitters. You know that. Low and away on the breaking ball. Fred McGriff was over at first base on those Braves teams. Fred McGriff, the crime dog. I think 493 home runs.
He was close. He was knocking on the door of 500.
Well, they got some heavyweight coaches on this team. That long follow through on his swing. He hit a home run. He hold the bat up over his head like a Statue of Liberty.
7 more.
7 more.
A lot of talk about McGriff as a Hall of Famer with those kind of numbers.
Good curve in there for a strike. I think he'll get more and more recognition as he moves along the next few years on the ballot here.
Banuelos's curveball.
It was nasty.
Good spin, good location.
See, for the second inning in a row, can he get out of a jam with a runner in scoring position? Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Russell Martin. There was a fastball for you. He strikes out Freddie Freeman and leaves Michael Bourne at third. Power against power. At the end of 5 1/2, it's still the Yankees 2, Braves nothing.
Direct injection. 265 foot-pounds.
That game summary was presented by Lincoln, and the first pitch from the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that pitch came from Todd Redmond as he faces Eric Chavez, who hits a bouncer foul, and the count is 0-2. AAA Gwinnett. One appearance out of the bullpen, 10-8, 2.92. Well, you have him and Toronto on the same team. He didn't give up much. High fastball, the ball and 2 strikes. Chavez today has a double, a booming double to right center, along with a strikeout. He's 1 for 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Count levels off. Chavez, Martin, and Jones for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. Good backdoor breaking ball call, strike 3. David, I've seen you do this as we look at the game summary brought to you by Lincoln. 2-0. Garcia, Freddie Garcia, strong outing, 1 hit in 3 innings with a couple of strikeouts and a walk. Banuelos, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 hits, and Nick Swisher, an RBI double in the 1st inning. I was talking about that backdoor breaking ball to a left-handed hitter.
It's a good pitch. You know, Redmond's been an up-and-comer in the Braves organization for a while, but he doesn't get the attention because he doesn't really light up the radar guns. But very consistent and good control.
Actually a local product, a local kid here in the Tampa Clearwater area. Worked with Tony Ferreira, my minor league roommate, pitching coach. Was a longtime pitching coach for Todd Redmond in Little League.
There's a pitch for a strike, and it's 1-2 on Russell Martin. Is that the famous golfing Tony Ferreira?
That is it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Another cup of coffee guy in the big leagues with the Royals back in the day. Has a baseball school down here in Tampa, Clearwater area. And Todd Redmond was one of his students for years. So
that was a fun afternoon that we played golf together. Was that last year, wasn't it?
Was last year, yeah. We've been following Todd Redmond for years.
Full count now on Russell Martin.
He's done all he can do in the minor leagues. He's put up great numbers. He's just, he doesn't throw the ball 95 miles an hour, so he doesn't get the attention of the scouts, but he knows how to pitch.
Like that. Good breaking ball, 3-2 for strike 3.
Yeah, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
So 2 batters faced by Redmond and a couple of strikeouts, both on 3-2 breaking balls. Or 2 strike breaking balls, I should say. Here's Andrew Jones. Takes one in there for a call strike. Jones twice is flied out. Once to center, once to left, and both were hit very well. Strike 2. Now, this is the type of guy, David, speaking of Redmond, I'm watching him pitch, and you're right. It looks like he has an idea of what he's doing. There are 29 other teams besides the Braves in the big leagues, and a lot of them need pitchers. And you're right. He's probably done everything he can do at the AAA level.
He's put up numbers at every level in the minor leagues, and waiting for an opportunity.
2-2. He can't get Jones to chase. Ball is popped up. Let's see if there's a play. Coming down the line is Freddie Freeman. He does have it. Then it's a 1-2-3 inning for Todd Redmond against the Yankees here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's on to the 7th here at Steinbrenner Field with the Yankees maintaining their 2-0 lead. Two-0. The Yankees lead on our Ford scoreboard as we go to the top of the 7th inning. 16-game Friday, Saturday, and Sunday plans are now available for the 2012 season. With 3 different plans, you can use whichever weekend day works best for you. Field level plans start at $75 per seat per game, and new locations are available for 2012. For information on the different plans, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES and make your plans to spend your weekends at Yankee Stadium. Yankees have made several changes as we go to the 7th inning. We'll try and catch you up with the new Yankees on the field, including a new pitcher is DJ Mitchell. And his first pitch is all the way back to the screen for ball 1. Scranton Wilkes-Barre a year ago, mostly as a starting pitcher, 13-9, good ERA, 3.18. That's a little high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. It's Cole Gardner in left field for the Yankees. Melky Mesa in center. That pitch is fouled off. Colin Curtis is in right field. That looks like Corbin Joseph at second base. Another pitch is out of strike zone, 3-1. The Yankees have made other changes in the infield. Ball is fouled back. You got Ramiro Pena over at third base. And that is Molina doing the catching. Gustavo Molina catching, and Gil is at first base. That is Jose Gil at first base. So Joe Girardi getting some youngsters into the ball game as we're here in the 7th inning. David Ross is 1 for 2. Single and fly to center. Just got a piece of that one to keep his at bat going. 3-2 with nobody out here. The Yankees leading 2-0 here in the 7th inning. The Braves have just gotten 3 hits. Ross has one of them. Payoff pitch is fouled at the plate. I remember those games where you get shut out, 2 hits, 3 hits. And you got one of them. You kind of knew what kind of a tough afternoon it was for the hitters. And you felt very good that you got 1 hit, but you didn't want to show it. You just kind of quietly got on the bus, went back to the hotel. You probably struck out you 2 other times. Up ground ball to second. So Phillips makes a big pitch when he has to, and there's 1 down. There is Phillips, who kind of a tall drink of water, isn't he?
Yes.
Lean, mean pitching machine. Should say DJ Mitchell. I don't know how to get Phillips out of there.
It's probably the opening day starting lineup at Scranton. It's out there right now.
Pretty good ball club. Bethencourt hits one towards the gap in left center. Coming over and making the catch for the out is Cole Gardner. So there's 2 down. Winston-Salem, North Carolina for DJ Mitchell. That's where he's from. Clemson University. You got to like those Clemson Tigers. Sports Illustrated faces in the crowd in 2007. Drafted by the Yankees in the 10th round in 2008. Out of Clemson. I think I read something the other day. They're ranked 5th college baseball this year.
Jimmy Key, too, alumni, right?
Yeah,
Clemson University.
That's correct.
You've got some history there, too, with your son.
Yeah, son Justin went there. Went to the College World Series. That was a fun week in Omaha. It pitches low for a ball. Remember Matt LeCroy?
Yes.
He was actually the one who, on Justin's recruiting visit, he showed us around the campus. Pitches swung on and missed by Sutton. Very nice young man. He had some power for the Minnesota Twins. Inside for a ball. On the pitching side, they had Chris Benson, Billy Koch, #1 draft picks out of the same rotation. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Make that a 3-2 pitch, and that's ball 4. So with 2 outs, Mitchell loses Drew Sutton and puts a man aboard. And that'll bring up Tardashevich, third baseman, who had himself a pretty good year last year in A-ball in Lynchburg with 20 home runs. And the first pitch is in there, first call strike. Sutton at first. Yankees thus far this afternoon have shown some strong pitching. That is upstairs for a ball. You know, Joe Girardi has to be pleased with the way things are going thus far. You heard him mention during our interview in the 5th inning, they want to break that 4-game losing streak, get back in the win column. Swing and a miss on a good changeup.
Yeah, this is probably Mitchell's second best pitch. He spots his fastball in and out, and really good arm action on a straight change, fading down and away.
Threw him another one. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tardashevich strikes out. And that's it for the Braves here in the 7th. It's on to the 7th inning stretch. The Braves strand another runner. The Yankees lead 2-0. Well, following the 7th inning stretch on our Ford scoreboard, the Yankees have the lead at 2-0. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, just 3 hits for the Braves. They have played errorless ball. New pitcher for Atlanta is going to be Adam Russell. And this is what he did with the Rays. 1-2 in 36 games. Very good earned run average. Maybe a few too many walks. 20 walks in 32 in the 3rd inning, 2/3 innings. Zoilo Almonte is going to hit for Chris Dickerson. Almonte's opened some eyes here in spring training. Dickerson struck out twice while he was in there. And he takes the first pitch from Russell, and it's in there for a call strike. A and AA last year, 15 home runs, 77 runs batted in. And he fouls it off the count of 0-2. This young man, Almonte, is a switch hitter. Hitting coach Kevin Long likes what he's seen from both sides of the plate. I've yet to see Almonte hit right-handed, but he's done a pretty good job lefty until then. Takes call, strike 3. Caught looking. So Russell picks himself a strikeout up against Zoilo Almonte. There's Jose Gil, who takes over at first base for Vasquez. Vasquez had flown out twice. Russell misses with a good fastball outside for ball 1.
It'll be almost like an extended spring training for the Yankees this year because they open up in Tampa the first week of April, April 6th. They're going to open up Miami Marlins, new stadium down there. They're going to play 2 games against the Mets. First time since '96. You'll see the Yankees and the Mets hook up in spring training for a home and away.
Yeah, 1 game over in Port St. Lucie. Then the very next day, they will hook up here at the Steinbrenner Field. Since when?
Since 1996. Since the Mets and Yankees have hooked up in spring training. Back when this was Legends Field. First year of the new ballpark here.
That pitch is in there for a strike. And it's 1-2 on Jose Gil. Should be interesting to see that new Marlins ballpark. Was it Marlins Stadium?
Yeah, right on the old Orange Bowl site.
Yeah.
A lot of excitement in Miami.
I think we have one of those games on, yes. Yep, and you'll get a chance to see the Marlins' new stadium. Retractable dome, something they sorely needed in Miami. Bouncing ball towards second. And the throw to first is in time for out number 2. So Gil is retired. That's Drew Sutton, who's gone all the way thus far for the Braves at second base. Down the top of the order, and Doug Bernier will come to the plate, his first at bat of the afternoon, while Derek Jeter was in there. Derek singled and scored in the first, grounded to short, and walked and scored in the 5th. So Derek Jeter, the Yankee captain and leadoff hitter, scored both of the runs this afternoon as the Yankees lead 2-0. Call strike. Now the Braves, I should say the Marlins over the years, with all the rain in Miami, those thunderstorms come rumbling through in the afternoons, pitches a ball. They hardly ever had a game rained out, but they had the most rain delays in baseball. And I think for fans that are driving like 2, maybe 3 hours, and they don't want to sit there in the rain. Now they know that there won't be any delays. The game will just be played as it normally would be.
That's a great point, Kenny. You know, I mean, it's so frustrating for the fans, for the players as well. BP gets rained out a lot during the day. Pitchers up and down, warm up, sit down, can lead to some arm problems.
Creates a whole new situation for now the Miami Marlins. New stadium, new name.
See their new uniforms?
Yeah. This ball is hitting the air towards right center field. It's going to drop in there for at least a base hit. Running for second is Bernier. Here's the throw, the slide, and he's safe. A hustling double for Doug Bernier. And that's a good time to try it. With 2 outs, why not? Try and get yourself into scoring position. So the leadoff spot continues to be productive for the Yankees this afternoon.
Well, Bernier came in, took over for Jeter at shortstop, made a nice defensive play, and you can see right out of the box. That's how you get this double. You bust it right off the bat. You never look back. Head first. The throw's a little offline, and you're in there.
So Bernier's at second with 2 outs, and to bring up Melky Mesa, who took over for Curtis Granderson. And Curtis had a 1-for-2 afternoon with a single that led to a run. Also walked and popped up. Here's Melky Mesa. And Mesa takes a pitch down and away for a ball. Mesa had a big year a couple of years ago right here in Tampa. And last year dropped off a bit at Trenton. Broken bat, little looper towards right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. So the hustle by Bernier pays off. He scores the Yankees' third run. A double with 2 outs, and now a single by Melky Mesa. The Yankees lead 3-0.
Oh, in the box score tomorrow, it is a knock and an RBI. Here, it's a full hack, broken bat, C9 fly ball, and you'll take it. Hitters will say that's good hitting. I fought that off. Pitchers will say that's just very unlucky. I made a good pitch, broke his bat. Either way, that's a run scored.
Corbin Joseph, who took over for Robinson Cano at second base, takes a pitch for a call strike. So Doug Bernier with a hustling double just made it into second base and scored easily from second. The Yankees now have 7 hits in the game. Fouled back by Joseph. Check swing, and it's a foul ball. You know, if you're Adam Russell, you've probably been in this situation. You get 2 fairly quick outs. You give up a hustle double. You saw how close the play was, and then a broken bat single. That's got to be like a punch to the gut. Mesa's going. Pitches swung on and missed, and that's strike 3. So Joseph strikes out. Mesa had a decent jump, but he also got himself a run batted in. We're going to the 8th. It's 3-0 Yankees. Jose Constanza leading it off against DJ Mitchell. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Constanza's grounded to short, struck out. 0 for 2. Yankees leading 3-0 as we go to the 8th inning. DJ Mitchell, the 4th Yankee pitcher. Freddie Garcia was first, followed by Rafael Soriano, Manny Banuelos, and now DJ Mitchell. There's a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Constanza.
And everybody's been impressive. Freddie Garcia with 3 easy scoreless innings, and I think the young lefty Banuelos was impressive too. Had a couple of big strikeouts and really showed all of his repertoire today in 2 innings. So we got a pretty good look at him. And Now DJ Mitchell.
In the air to center field for Melky Mason. Took one step back. Now coming on. Has decent speed and makes the catch. Well, today's Game on Yes is brought to you in part by Chevy with a full line of award-winning models. Find out more at ChevyOffers.com. She's got her hands full. Trying to watch a ball game here. Pitch is high to Jordan Perez, and it's ball one. Perez took over from Michael Bourne. DJ Mitchell. Bouncing ball towards the middle. It's going to hop over second base and get into center field for a base hit. So with one out, the Braves have one on. And I'll bring up the shortstop, Tyler Pasternicki, who's gone the distance for the Braves this afternoon. Pasternicki's 0 for 3, grounded to short, grounded to second, and struck out. Mitchell would like to get a ground ball here if he could. Instead, foul ball out of play, strike one. You're talking about Banuelos, and I was impressed with the way he pitched with runners in scoring position today. Twice he got out of jams, and each time with a strikeout. So he reached back for that little bit extra. Put a hitter away. That's high for a ball.
He really did. We saw him lock up some left-handed batters with a good-looking curveball. And then you're right, Kenny, to end his outing, he really dialed it up. I think it was 93 miles an hour on a fastball that he blew right by Freeman, the talented first baseman for the Braves. A pretty impressive finish.
Ball's hit well towards the gap in left center. Coming on quickly and making the catch for the out is Cole Gardner. And now they're at 2 down. So Pasternicki's 0 for 4. Another Brave who's gone the distance today is Matt Diaz. Diaz working on an 0 for 3. Curve drops in there nicely for a call strike. Call strike 2, 0-2. Line drive at Bernier, and that's going to do it. Mitchell works 2 innings, doesn't give up a run. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-0 Yankees. Joe Girardi's got to be smiling. Darren Williams scorched the Bobcats for a franchise record 57 points. Tonight, the Nets return to Charlotte for round 2. Coverage on Yes starts at 6:30 with Nets pregame. Then Chris Carino and Mike Fratello have the call. Nets Bobcats. It all starts tonight at 6:30 only on Yes. 57 he dropped on him. And pitch to Colin Curtis. Misses for ball 1. Jairo Asensio doing the pitching for the Braves here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Curtis takes a pitch inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Had a chance to talk to Colin Curtis. Well, last year he had a shoulder injury, suffered it in spring training, missed all of the year as they rebuilt his shoulder. He said the good thing about it, it wasn't his throwing shoulder, it was his right shoulder. And now he's back this year. Hit a home run yesterday and hits this one well to center field. Going back is Perez, and he'll make the catch for the out. 1 down. Oh, once again, we're going to go down near the Yankee clubhouse. Jack Curry is standing by with Eric Chavez, the veteran third baseman.
Thanks a lot, Kenny and Eric. A 1-for-3 effort today, but I want to go back to before even spring training started. You had a bit of an interesting off season. It was a lot of waiting to find out where you were going to end up.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet. You know, for the most part, I had family and friends, you know, texting me and calling me, "Are you going to play? Are you going to play?" And I really didn't know. But I was really at home just enjoying my time with the family and the kids, and it was pretty good pretty good off season until about 2 weeks before spring training, and you know, Cashman called, and you know, I'm just glad I'm here now.
When you get that call and you know where you're going to be in 2012, because you were a guy who had even toyed with the idea of retirement, how big of a relief and how much excitement did you have?
Yeah, I don't know that it was a relief. I think I used the term 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I was very comfortable. If I had not played, but I'm very happy I'm here. Once I knew I was coming back, I'm, you know, 100% committed. Really looking forward to this year. My body has felt really good this year compared to last year, and I'm really looking forward to it. And
what do you see your role this year? Similar to last year, except I'm sure stay healthy for the whole year.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same. You know, I'm not worried about how many at bats I'm gonna get or. You know what my role is. I kind of think I know what my role is, and yeah, just prepare to play the best baseball I can, and whenever Joe calls my number, I'll be ready to go.
Eric Chavez, Kenny, David, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jack. Eric Chavez, of course, can play third base. Won 6 Gold Gloves with the Oakland A's. He can also play some first base as well as Ramiro Pena hits one well to right field, and it's going to be run down by Diaz for out number 2. Pena with a big. 2 outs, nobody on for the Yankees here in the 8th.
Well, Chavez can be just so valuable for the Yankees off the bench. You know, fill in case, you know, Alex needs some time at third base. DH. Good left-handed bat, got some power. You know, the Yankees are set up to win, and a lot of times that veteran bench can be the missing link. You know, I keep thinking back to 1998, Kenny, and we had Darryl Strawberry and Tim Raines coming off the bench. And
Homer Bush.
Homer Bush was the youngster with the speed.
Base hit for Gustavo Molina. Keeps the inning going. 2 out single.
Chavez and Andrew Jones and Raul Ibanez, you know, 3 veteran guys that could really help the Yankees off the bench.
Cole Gardner will get an at bat. He's probably happy that Molina got a base hit. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. You know, last spring, I believe Chavez was injured in spring training. He broke his foot running out of triple here at Steinbrenner Field. They had to go on a disabled list and miss some time early in the season. Well, he was smooth as silk at third with the A's back in the day. And still, sure hands. Maybe not the range, but the sure hands. Speaking of sure hands, Paschernicki goes a short way for the force out on Molina. And now it's going to be the Braves' last chance. Atlanta going to the 9th inning, trailing the Yankees 3-0. The Yankees trying to shut them out. Hey fans, missed the day's discussion of the biggest sports headlines? Stick around after the final out from Mike Francesa as the man behind the mic takes your calls on the hottest topics from around the world of sports. That's today after the game right here on Yes. New pitcher coming in for Joe Girardi. He goes to a left-hander. It's going to be Juan Cedeno, who pitched in the Independent League. Non-roster invitee to spring training for the Yankees. He's also pitched in Korea during his career. Last year pitched at the Rio Grande Valley. Sounds like somewhere in Texas, doesn't it?
Well, you know, they get some perseverance. He signed in 2001 with the Red Sox. 10 years later, he's still trying to get it.
Starts off Freddie Freeman with a good hook, and it's a swing and a miss for strike one. Freeman's grounded out. In between two strikeouts. 0 for 3. In the dirt, ball and a strike. Yankees trying to put a bow on this one. And stop a 4-game losing streak here in spring training. Ball is fouled off down the left field line, and this one's going to make it just beyond the seats. Yes, Cedeno's been Augustus, Sarasota, Wilmington, Wichita, Erie, Lakeland, Great Lakes, and Korea. Happy young man out in left field. 1-2 pitch to Freeman. Curveball. There it is. Called strike 3. Right now we're going to throw it down to Jack Curry, who's standing by with an update on David Robertson's condition. Jack.
That's right, Kenny. Some encouraging news from the Yankees. David Robertson has a bone bruise in his foot. He will stay in that walking boot through Monday. The boot will be removed on Monday, and then he will work his way back. So after all those rounds of tests that the Yankees did, this has to be construed as positive news. A bone bruise for Robertson. Look for him to work his way back early next week.
Thank you for the update, Jack. David Robertson, certainly a big part of the Yankees bullpen. We'll be back with more with one out in the top of the ninth, and the Yankees leading 3-0. To come on and try and close this one out. Juan Cedeno came in, faced the left-handed batter, struck him out. He was whaling last year at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Pretty good numbers, 54 strikeouts in 52 in the third innings. Pitch is fouled back to the screen by J.C. Boskin, who took over the catching for David Ross early in the ball game.
See the split finger grip. He's showing it to you. Start with the split finger grip and then switch to his fastball grip. So you know what his out pitch is.
Ball is hit in left center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Melky Mesa gets it back in, and Boskin makes the most of his one at bat this afternoon. Had himself a single. And we're going to get a pinch runner at first base for the Braves. Elmer Reyes is running at first for Boskin.
Right, didn't ride the bus for nothing. He got it. He's in the Wago.
Here's Bethancourt, who's been the designated hitter this afternoon, and 3 times he's hit a fly ball to left field. Here's a high fly ball towards left field. Coming on is Gardner, and he's going to make the catch for the out. So Bethancourt flied out 4 times to left field today. Fan Sunday afternoon, the Yankees gear up for the 2012 season when they host the Philadelphia Phillies here at Steinbrenner Field. Coverage on Yes starts at 1 o'clock when the great Lou Piniella joins Michael Kay in the booth for his Yes Network debut. Phillies, Yankees, it all starts Sunday at 1 only on Yes. So Bethancourt should pick on a different part of the field. Braves down to their last out. And Drew Sutton takes a pitch over the outside corner for a call strike. Sutton's been on base twice. By the base on balls, he's also lined out to short. Strong pitching for the Yankees this afternoon. The Braves have no runs on 5 hits. That pitch is low, and it's a ball and a strike. If they don't score, they can't beat you. Just inside. Willen thought he had a strike. The count is 2-1. He's not the only one. I thought it was a strike too. Sometimes, David, they make you earn that last out, huh?
I guess so. You know, you would think he would be anxious too behind the home plate to call some strikes at this point.
Foul tipped into the glove of Molina. And now the Braves are down to their last strike. Yankee fans here clapping their hands. Rhythmic clapping breaks out as they can sense the end of the game. Little chopper foul. It's going to continue. The Yankees got 3 runs today. All 3 runs are scored by the leadoff hitter. Derek Jeter with a couple, and Doug Bernier took over for Jeter in the 6th inning, and he scored a run as well. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt. The count has gone full. The splitter out of the strike zone. The tomahawk chop lives. The payoff pitch. Call strike 3, and the ball game is over. Sutton called out on strikes, and this one will go into the win column for the Yankees as they win it by a score of 3-0. Strong pitching by the Bombers this afternoon, and some clutch hitting as well. There are your totals: 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Joe Girardi sees that 4-game losing streak end. For the Braves, no runs, 5 hits, no errors. So the Yankees beat the Braves 3-zip. Kevin Whelan gets the last out by the strikeout. We'll be back with more.